Howard here with Mercedes-Benz of Linden. Behind me is the all-new 2016 Mercedes-Benz GLC. Now the GLC is the model that has replaced the GLK. So you can see we get a complete new body style from the ground up. It's fantastic. The GLK was starting to get very, very popular. It was kind of a slow car to get started. I really liked it, but this is the new replacement. And as you know, all of the badging has changed throughout all of our lines. We have a GLA, we have a GLC, we have a GLE, we have a GLS. And so all of these things have changed. It's a little bit confusing to you out there that have owned Mercedes-Benz in the past. It's designed to make things just a little bit easier. Of course, an A or a B or a C is going to be a smaller vehicle compared to an S at the other end of the alphabet, which is going to be a larger vehicle. This is dressed up with the Sport package, so you get a little bit of more definition, a little bit more aggressive bumpers and things throughout. Note the cross-drilled rotors there. Get a nice big wheel. It's dressed up in Pirellis there. A couple of things that I want to point out that are pretty exciting about the car. One, this is an inline four-cylinder engine. It's a 2-liter engine. It's the same one we're using in the C-Class. Notice it produces 241 horsepower, 273 pound-feet of torque. Now, the other thing that I want to point out here that's really neat is it's got a 9-speed transmission. This one's dressed up with 4MATIC, all-wheel drive. It's a nice even split from front to back. Lots of power. I delivered one of these on Saturday up in Park City. Lots of torque, plenty of power to get you up the hills. One of the things I noticed as I was driving it is just how quiet it is. It's super quiet. It's got great visibility. It's got a nice tight feel to it. I have to say that this currently is my favorite SUV that we're producing right now. It's a nice blend of sportiness and comfort. Plenty of room still in the back. Note here, lots of room here because we're running extended wear tires, like run flat tires. You can run them on at 50 miles an hour for 50 miles. Beautiful lindenwood in this model. Panel roof, many different interior options, including some Designo options. Right here we've got blind spot assist, keyless entry, keyless start. Beautiful laser cut wood there. Of course, the lindenwood is real wood. Now in the Sport model we get heavily bolstered seats as opposed to just the standard model where you're going to have more of a flat back here. Here's our seat positions. The seat is way back. I'll get it up here. Another nice feature is the seat extension here, so we can extend out the bottom of the seat. And that's helpful in giving you some leg support on those long trips. Some various options here. This one actually has heads-up display too. I don't know if you'll be able to see that in the glass or not with the camera. But that's a nice option that we haven't seen before. Some of the other options that you're going to see available is air ride suspension, as an available option, ventilated seating and things like that are now an option as well. Now you'll notice in the new design here as well that we've got this nice floating screen. Now at first a lot of people are saying, well gosh, that looks a little strange to me, but there is a purpose for this, and that is if you notice that the top of this is at the same height as the top of the hood outside. And the idea is if I'm sitting in the seat here, I can look at this out of my peripheral vision, I can see the screen out of my peripheral vision. I'm not having to move all the time like this, but that I can drive. It's safer to be able to just kind of see and operate things out of the corner of your eye. Another thing is Mercedes-Benz doesn't do a touch screen, because if I have to look at the ball of my finger and I have to look at the icon, I am not looking at the road. So what they've done is they've come up, and for the past several years they've used this joystick here to control the command system. So this is the command system, this is the command controller. But they've also added this touchpad on the top, and I can spell and I can type out numbers with strokes here with my finger, and I can move things on the screen via swipes and motions that will operate the screen. And that's nice because I can do this, I can drive and kind of manipulate that out of the corner of my eye. Down here, some of the other controls is the volume control has been placed here. Instead of having to reach for the volume across the cockpit here, I can actually control it here with just resting my hand, and I can adjust the volume. If I push that down, it's a mute button. I can turn off and on the command system traction control buttons. The little A here, that's auto start stop, so if we're at a stop sign or etc., that we can turn off and on the vehicle, or the vehicle will automatically turn off and on for us as things get up to normal operating temperatures. The exception to that would be if I am running in a Sport Plus mode. If you see this button right here, it adjusts different shift points in the vehicle. I can individualize my shift points. Eco is going to be very soft. It's going to be not very responsive. It's great for road trips. Comfort, you're going to run that in most of the time, and it is the default startup setting. And then I've got a Sport, and a Sport Plus is going to be the most aggressive. And I'll tell you what, this thing really rock and rolls. It is super fun to drive. It's got plenty of torque, lots of power, which is very interesting because people say, oh, it's a 4-cylinder, it can't be that fast. Well, you know what? It is. Come down and drive it. It really has more than enough power to get you going where you want. It's a direct injected engine, as well as being turbocharged. It's kind of like a match made in heaven. This has the air balance package as well, so we've got perfume in this. It sits on that tray and it'll waft some nice smells into the cabin. Again, as I'm sitting here, the seats are super comfortable. Note the backup camera. Now there is a 360 option as well. That's part of the Parktronic package. And Parktronic will actually parallel park the vehicle for you, but it will also set up this camera so you can see all the way around the vehicle. A nice balance between being able to feel the road and being able to have the suspension absorb enough of the potholes and bumps and things to make it very comfortable. Buttons are handy here. Notice the position. I mean, each one of these buttons represent a different portion of the seat, so it's easy to control. Even our heated seat button here, so you don't have to move your hand very far in order to adjust the seat. Again, if it's down here and you're fiddling around trying to adjust your seat, then pretty soon you're not paying attention on the road. So that's another safety feature that have been on Mercedes-Benz for quite some time. Super fun. Come down, take it for a drive. They've been super hard to get in stock. We've got a couple now. starting to get more and more as it become more available. I've also we got this one here. I'm going to pull up next to this other car here so that you can compare the difference. But this one is that you're looking at right out the window here is called Diamond Silver. It's got a little bit of blue to the metallic paint. But there are some distinct differences. The blue one over here, the Diamond Silver, is not equipped with the Sport package. So I'll point out a few of those differences. Again, beautiful woodwork here, all laser cut. So again, when you look at the fronts, you look at the wheels, see how there's some little bit of difference there. Also, when I come up here to the front wheel, you can see that it's a solid disc, whereas in the Sport package I get the cross-streeled rotors. Back end's a little bit different. Note this one does have the tow hitch. You can tow 5,000 pounds with this vehicle. Super fun cars. Come down and drive them. My name is Steve with Mercedes-Benz of Linden. Any of our professionals here at the dealership would be happy to take you out on a test drive, show you this and any of our other fine models here in Linden. 801-222-4400 is our direct number. We're at exit 273, and if you're looking at any of our products via the internet and other third-party sites, please give us a call with any questions. And remember, we do have financing available, extended warranties, and everything else you could think of that a professional establishment like ours here in Linden would be able to help you with. The all-new Mercedes-Benz GLC.